Welcome back, everybody, to the Wandering Samurai Study, in which we review and analyze every single act told in Rurouni Kenshin, and today's act is Act 49, Wolf Without Mercy. And what a way to continue what was left off in the previous act. Going from this first title page, from the opening page, and then seeing Sanosuke going through the wall, the continuation of Saito's attack in the last one. Man, I really feel for Sanosuke. I could feel the pain of going through that wall. But Watsuki wastes no time taking Sanosuke down. I mean, Sanosuke gets up, but immediately Saito, taking advantage of the wound that Sanosuke has, which is just the definition of this chapter, Wolf Without Mercy, going directly for the wound that he just laid on him. It just tells you everything you need to know about Saito, but again, taking Sanosuke down. And then we at least know that he didn't kill Sanosuke because he says time for sleep, and that's the last thing that is said. And then we move on. What an opening, man. What an opening. But let's go ahead and get into the chapter summary review, and we'll go from there. The chapter picks up right where the last one left off, with Sanosuke going through the wall. Although he attempts to continue the fight, Fujita keeps him down. The group continues their walk where Megumi joins them, all noting Kenshin's odd behavior. And just as Kenshin was going to shrug his feelings aside, the group walks in to find a collapsed Sanosuke where his fight left him. Elsewhere, Fujita, or better yet, Saito, is seen meeting with the man who hired him to go to the dojo, a former ancient shishi, now politician. The two discuss Saito's reason for working for the politician and him being the replacement for Jine. When the meeting is done, Saito reveals that he is also now a policeman. The chapter ends with the group attending to an injured Sanosuke and Kenshin investigating the clues left behind by Saito. So we've already talked about Sanosuke, so let's go ahead and talk about Kenshin. And Kenshin continues to act the way that he was acting in the previous act, being concerned about why he's thinking so much about the past, but it continues here, and it continues to trouble the characters that he's with. And Megumi coming into the picture, it just kind of adds more emphasis to Kenshin being different. But quickly on Megumi. Megumi was added here for comedic effect. We already have a man down, and just from a few pages ago, Kenshin is being gloomy, so adding a little bit of the fox versus the raccoon, joke between the banter between Kaoru and Megumi kind of adds a little bit to lighten the mood, especially because Kenshin is in such an odd mood. But also, she's here because she's gonna need to be there for Sanosuke when they finally discover Sanosuke. I mean, they could have easily just added her coming later, but again, the comedic effect to lighten the tension of after we had just seen Sanosuke go down viciously. It's a good touch to have Megumi, but also back to Kenshin. Kenshin's mood here, though, it's very different from everything that we've had at the start of every single act or every single arc that we've had up until now. Kenshin has always just kind of been in the moment and taking life as it is, and for him to be at such a strange presence, it shows us that things are about to be shaken up. The entrance of Saito is going to change everything that we've had up until now. The very foundation of this narrative is going to be shooken by the arrival of Saito, and this is why Saito is such a presence in this act. I mean, besides appearing in the last one, I mean, this is more so Saito's act. He takes down Sanosuke. Kenshin is thinking about Saito. Then we see him with the politician later on. And then it ends with Kenshin thinking about Saito. It's crazy, but yeah, this is really Saito's act. And it's all for the sake of this foundation of the characters being turned upside down. So that's kind of my take on why Kenshin is really being odd here. But let's go ahead and talk about Saito and the politician, because where else is there to go from here? So after the group discovers Sanosuke, we flash over to Saito having a meeting with a politician, and we find out exactly who it is that sent Saito to go meet Kenshin. We find out the reason why Saito is here, and it's because this politician wants Kenshin dead. But for what reason, we don't know, and I'm not certain that we're actually going to get an answer. But the big thing about this here is that this is the politician that was hinted at way back when, at the end of the Jinne conflict, because this is the man who hired Jinne. This is the man who was sending Jinne to go kill all of those other politicians. Now, is this for moral reasons? I don't think so. And when Saito asks him, he doesn't want to say. So most likely not. Back then, I made the mistake of assuming that it was Okubo. I had completely forgotten about this politician, and I don't even know his name. I don't think I got it. But yeah, see, he's here, and it's because and he was the one that set up Jinne. It's kind of cool though that the world of Rurouni Kenshin continues to kind of expand upon itself, that it's something that was set up way back in at the end of chapter 14, I think, is now being addressed, like almost at chapter 50, technically 49, but whatever. And yeah, I like that a lot. But focusing on Saito for a moment, it's funny how Saito has like this grin and this smile that tells you that you can't trust him. And yet the politician feels like he has Saito under his thumb. And I don't even think that he really believes that, because he definitely sweated a little bit when he offered Saito a drink, and Saito says that he doesn't drink anymore because it just makes him want to kill. But it's funny how he feels that he has this guy under his thumb, and goes so far as to call him a fangless dog now that he's working for the police, and he's working for him, somebody who he had to, I guess, defend himself against or be afraid of during the Bakumatsu. They were on opposite sides, and now he has somebody on the opposite end working for him. And so it's amazing. It's amazing in the how the world kind of changes and stuff, but like how people can rise up and come back into your lives and stuff, and like the power dynamics that shift over the times. But again, calling Saito a man, knowing what I know, but I don't want to get there. I'm sorry. But apart from that, I kind of just quickly mentioned it, that Saito is also a policeman. Like he says it in the chapter that he's happy to live a carefree life doing what he wants, and being a policeman, it's kind of the equivalent of being being the Shinsengumi during the Bakumatsu, because he is working for the government that is in place, and he's working to protect this the nation that is there. Now he's doing it for the Meiji, and it's funny to think that he's he was on the opposite side. They lost, but now he's kind of just joined this new government. And there's something to say about Saito in that regard. And so let's go ahead and finish off by talking about the ending of the chapter, where everybody is attending to Sanosuke's wounds and Kenshin is investigating. We see that Kenshin points out the umbrella and the circle, the box with the umbrella and the circle, and the broken weapon that was left behind. It seems that Kenshin has pretty much figured out that Saito is behind this, and he's uncertain that he was the one that did this, but he has a very strong suspicion that it's him. I think what it really was, though, it's the umbrella and the circle symbol. I think that that's somehow connected to Saito, or it gives more away who Saito is by using that symbol. And then it's also probably the broken weapon, but like the wound that Sanosuke has, because it's not a slash, it's a direct penetration, and Kenshin has fought this guy numerous times, so he knows his battle style, and that's pretty cool. So we'll see what happens in the next chapter. But for now, this has been Act 49 of Rurouni Kenshin. If you like this video and you want to see more, then consider subscribing to the channel, leave a thumbs up, and comment down below something that you thought about this. What did you guys think about this being Saito's chapter? What did you guys think about Saito and everything that we've learned so far about Saito here? Not going into what we know that's gonna happen, but what's the hints that have been dropped here, because I'm not convinced that Saito wasn't meant to be the main villain. I have a feeling that like maybe some editorial shenanigans occurred, and Saito went from not being the main villain. But we'll get into that. We'll get into it as we go on. For now, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, ciao.